My name is Davis, and I'm from the Criminal Justice Group. At the age of 22, a man named Sean Carter was a college junior out drinking with friends. He knew he was in no condition to drive home, and neither was the buddy who gave him a ride. The driver walked away from a crash who left Sean in a wheelchair and unable to speak. Now a computer is his voice. Such is the story of a decision who changed a man's life and my perspective of a serious problem that we face in our nation today. My incentive is to explain the severity of the problem, the laws that need to be improved. I'll share with you my proposition to dramatically reduce the number of drunk driving incidents in the United States and better our law enforcement in the aspect of drunk driving. Drunk driving is a serious problem. It is one of the most preventable issues that we face in the United States today. According to EdgarSnyder.com, 3 in every 10 Americans will be involved in an alcohol-related crash at some point in their lives. In 2009, all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico made it illegal to drive with a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or higher. Of the 10,000 people who died in an alcohol-related crash, 67% had BACs above the legal limit. This information was taken from an article called The Statistics of Drunk Driving from centurycouncil.org. Now that we know the severity of the problem, let's explore additional statistics that you may not have known. Not only is drunk driving a financial cost to the nation, it has many psychological effects as well. Beyond lost lives and painful injuries, alcohol-related crashes in the United States cost federal, local governments, and taxpayers approximately $46 billion each year. Costs vary state by state, but you could spend about $4,000 to $5,000 on a DUI, and that's if you're lucky enough to survive it. That's also before you hire a lawyer. This information was found from an article called The High Cost of Drinking and Driving from the West Virginia Student Center of Health website. Surely you can imagine that there have been failed attempts at lowering the percentages. Let's take a look at why these attempts have not worked. It can be hard to know whether the rates of alcohol-impaired deaths are specifically due to anti-drunk driving laws and publicity, opposed to concurrent strategies to improve traffic safety. Safer cars, safer roads, increased use of seatbelts, and crackdown on speeding and distracted driving have been some of the examples of why the laws have not worked. They've also tried to raise the drinking age to 21 and over nationwide, but it has not helped. Imagine that there's a 200% chance that you or a loved one can be the cause or the victim of a drunk driving incident in your lifetime. That's a horrible statistic. I'm here to propose a petition for ignition interlock systems to be required in the manufacturing of all cars. Many of you may be wondering, how do they work? Ignition interlock system is a mechanism like a breathalyzer to be installed in the dashboard of a car. When the driver exhales, the analyzed result is above 0.02 to 0.04, the device preventing the engine from being started. Sounds like quite the expense, right? Believe it or not, it only costs from $50 to $200 to be installed in cars. So why would they work? As of 2012, all 50 states have laws permitting the imposition of these devices as sentencing alternatives for drunk drivers. This requires for someone to have committed the crime, gotten in trouble for it, and then have these systems implemented. My idea is to substitute a costly audio system, oversized rims, or unnecessary spoilers for a device that can save lives and destructive incidences that we can prevent. According to the president and CEO of Smart Start Ignition Interlock Systems, Jim Ballard, the Smart Start has said that Smart Start has generated 590 million alcohol-free car starts and prevented 7 million people from driving under the wheel. In conclusion, I believe that drunk driving is arguably one of the most preventable issues that we face in the United States today. By implementing these devices before a conviction, we can considerably reduce unsafe driving conditions and the loss of many lives each year. The effectiveness of this system should be taken advantage of to save the nation from costly decisions. I speak for Sean Carter and the rest of the innocent lives that will be taken this year due to drunk driving to advocate for the technology that can save lives. During this class time, 3 lives will be taken, and every 2 minutes someone is critically injured in a drunk driving incident. I believe that the math speaks for itself. Thank you.
Before you sit down, say, could we see that chart again? Yeah, could you just take us through it? Because just take us through what's there.
Okay.
What is it showing?
Productivity is basically what it takes for a drunk driving case to be executed. Basically, it's like the lawyers, the court cases, and all the jail time basically that people need to do to be convicted. Medical expenses, which is what it kind of speaks for itself. Property damage and direct expenditures.
Okay, could you show which is the largest of those and explain it?
Productivity, which is basically the court scenarios, the jail time, and what it costs for police to respond to cases and things like that.
All right, then going clockwise, the next one is what?
Clockwise, this way? Direct expenditures.
Okay, explain that quickly.
I'm actually not sure.
Okay, the next one.
Medical expenses.
Let's see it. Okay. And then the final one.
Property damage.
Like the car.
Yeah.
Okay, good, thank you.